All right, everybody. Hey, welcome to our 4-week coaching program, kind of how to get started as a note investor. This is meant to kind of button up with our 3-day note buying for dummies workshop. So we always offer this up. It's basically a weekly coaching call after the class. We didn't do it last week. I mean, we held the 3-day class, our note buying for dummies workshop just over a week ago. Took last week off to let your guys recover, get rock and rolling. Had a great group of students on our workshop. And now our biggest goal is to help you implement more of what you've learned over the next couple of weeks there for you. And obviously talk about finding deals, raising capital for funding, and then the exit strategy, whether you're flipping notes, holding on to them, and then turning it into cash flow. Well, there's a fifth F that we don't talk about quite a bit. Well, maybe I do with my one-on-one coaching students, but it's the F is probably the most important one, is your focus. All right. Got to be focused on what you want to do and going out and making something happen. Okay. And the great thing about what we're doing is we're going to dive in a lot of content tonight, and I'll leave it up for some questions. But I do have a question. Somebody jumped on here and said, getting better each day. Hey, man, I hope you're getting better today, too. Asking question, can I create a note from a subject to investment? I'm looking to buy notes and then acquire properties that I can sell or finance. How can I go about this? Well, here's what I would do. I'm not going to go through that tonight because that's not what today's call is about. But I'll tell you what, getting better each day. You can book a call with me by going to talkwithscottcarson.com. Okay. Talkwithscottcarson.com. And then I can go through that. But we're not going to go about that tonight. Talkwithscottcarson.com. And then book a call with me. And I'm glad to go through that a little more step by step on that aspect of it. Okay. But we're not going through that specific. We're not going to dive into the nuts and bolts of note investing tonight. That's what our 3-day class is all about. And if you're new, then check out our 1-day class. See if you like it. Go to noteweekend.com and sign up for that. It's about a 4-hour class for you to watch on the basics of note investing. But the answer to your stuff is yes, you can do that. There's a way to do that. But we're not going through that tonight because that's not what this week's about. So let's dive into the content of everybody here and get you on the ground. So like when I said, we may teach our workshop, our 3-day workshop about once a quarter, give or take 2.5, 3.5, sometimes up to 4 months, but usually it's at least 3 to 4 times a year. And we really do focus on how to get you rocking and rolling. The true nuts and bolts of buying and investing in non-performing notes or notes direct from banks and hedge funds. And like I said, we're excited to have you. We'll be hosting this over the next 3 more Thursdays after that. But we do this for 4 weeks straight. It's recorded. If you've signed up for it or you're in our if you're RSVP'd your spot, we'll send you the replay links, and we'll be glad for you guys to have that and be able to go back and forth. Literally over the past 10 plus years, and now we're coming up on year 14. We've been teaching this now over 14 years. We've taught thousands of students how to dive into note investing. We've helped a tremendous amount of coaches out there. People go out and take this with our coaching, and I have coaches myself too, ladies and gentlemen. I have coaches for my business. I have coaches for marketing, podcasting, a whole variety of different coaches for what we're doing. Health coach, wellness coaches, obviously, too. And there are several core habits for successful note investors, and we want to make sure you understand those habits. And we also want to give you a head start towards success. I know we've all taken workshops, and we leave that workshop on a Sunday usually, or the last day, and we're all fired up and ready to rock and roll and go out and slay. But then we get to the house and show up Monday morning when we wake up, like, what the hell did we talk about? Or life slaps us in the face. I'm like, I got to go. I got to work. I got to get caught up on what I missed for 3 days before I can implement what I'm doing. I get it. I've been there. Had those struggles all the time. My biggest goal is helping you do a little bit each day, a little bit rock and roll. We are going to cover a lot tonight, and I expect you to take notes to go through this stuff, but it's here for you in the long run. As I know, real estate investors don't die. Can we agree to that? If you're watching this anywhere, replay, can I get an amen that I'm a real estate investor? If you've been in real estate for a while, type it in the chat roll. Hey, I've been an investor for 6 years, 5 years, 4 years. I'm brand new. Okay. We all got to start somewhere. And the great thing is that as a real estate investor, if you do the things especially we talk about tonight, this will help you, whether it's in notes and real estate, rentals, whatever it might be. It'll really help you get a rock and roll. Okay. Now, historically speaking, only about 1% of people ever take action. That's right. They go to a class, they go to a workshop, they pay for coaching, and they get back to, they start doing some stuff, but they never stick, they never take action in a lot of cases. I'm an educator, and I've talked with my fellow educators out there and real estate investors. When we talk about people taking action, it's probably less than 5% most of the time. And 1% is really the ones that we find that stick to it. So are you in that 1%? Is the big question. Are you going to be taking action on a regular basis? 92% of people have never accomplished their goals. And the reason that is because people just don't take action. Now, which would you prefer? To build a business that works and will last long term, provides leads and deals on a regular basis, and a plan to help you hit your goals? Or do you want to have no plan, throw shit against the wall, see what sticks? When that doesn't work, give up and move on to something else and repeat that cycle all over again. Well, I know you guys, I'd rather be number one, right? And that's the biggest thing to keep in mind, is that failing to plan is planning to fail. We've all heard that analogy. And my goal tonight with this is to help you put this plan together and really start taking things. And I'll promise you this, it's not going to be easy, but I'm never going to give you something that I wouldn't do myself. It's not an overnight success. You have deals get canceled, modifications, foreclosures, and deal will take longer than expected. You will have to work on your business on a weekly basis. This is not get rich quick. It's building wealth, and it takes time. You've got to have some patience. If you're trying to get rich quick, go play the lottery. Okay. Don't waste my time. Don't waste your time, but let's get you rocking and rolling on here. And I promise you it will be worth it if you, and only you, choose to work. Oh my God, it's a four-letter word. And follow my coaching. You will find more deals, raise more capital, and make higher returns and bigger checks than the rest. Your business will be recession-proof, and you will accomplish what only others dream about. Nothing worthwhile is easy, and that's what I want to do. So we'll focus on two things tonight: your goals and numbers, because you got to have a game plan. And then we'll talk about like the dollar goals, the number of closed deals, the number of offers you need to make. And then we'll also talk about kind of what you need to set up your ducks, get rock and roll, which city states to focus on, why LinkedIn is something you need to have, start growing your connections. And then we'll also talk about how growing your digital assets is important for you in the long run for you. Okay. So I'm going to get, I don't know why my things, but can I get your promise? I want you to show up today, next Thursday, and then two after that. Can I get your promise for that? Can I get your promise to work on the things that I give you to do? Taking action one thing at a day is better than nothing. Okay. And then you got to keep your mind is how many deals are you wanting to close on? Only you know that number. Okay. And I talked about how long are you going to be a real estate investor? Well, I know people are going to be around. I know I'm going to be an investor 20, 30 years at least, right? And you got to realize that 90% of the success that you have in anything is going to come from marketing, come from you marketing your business, marketing yourself, sharing what you're working on, and getting the word out. That's the only way to find deals is marketing. And the way I talk about doing deals and marketing is the 21st century, not the 1900s or the dark ages that most people focus on. When your biggest competitor says Scott's students know how to market and close deals, well, that's what we're here to let you know, people. I want you to close deals and raise capital, make things happen. And the three, finding deals, raising capital, all go hand in hand with the marketing side. So let's figure out your time. Okay. One of the most important things starting off as a real estate investor is looking at what you have time to put it to. Now, we don't need you to put 40 hours a week to this. Okay. 40 hours a week, you don't need another JOB, especially if you're already working another JOB. You'll have zero time for yourself and your family. But what we want you to start off with is a few hours a week. Okay. Check out your schedule, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. or a little bit later. I mean, depends on it. And if you take a look at your calendar, it's really good to kind of time block this stuff out. Get on a Excel spreadsheet, block it all out necessary. And block out what you've got to be. If you've got to be at a job 9 to 5, block it out. If you got to pick up your kids at 3 o'clock, block it out. Okay. Those important things, responsibilities, kids, work time. And do this Monday through Sunday. You got church on Sunday, block it out. Okay. Because what it'll leave you with is the time that you have available. And for some folks, they work on their business after hours, after 7 o'clock at night. They're working on it from 7 to 10, 2-3 times a week. And then the rest of the time is with their honey. Okay. It's important. Okay. Make sure you have, obviously too, when you look at your monthly calendar, make sure you've got 1 to 2 networking events per week, if possible. That counts as work. And maybe you can't do per week, maybe you got to do it per month. Well, something is better than nothing when you're getting rock and rolling. If you're in a major city, great, go to your local real estate club. Okay. That's the first place to go to. Can't make it to your local real estate club during the day, go at night. Find out what's going on the weekend. Most cities have something out there. And I highlight, this is the thing to do. This is the most important thing. Highlight 5 2-hour time slots. And this can be after hours on the weekend. So maybe you do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 2 hours, Tuesday, depending on what's going on in your schedule at night, later at night, or maybe you do a 3-hour slot one night and 2 hours. But we want to try to get 10 hours scheduled that you can work to put towards things. Okay. And you want to have time to write email, to write to a warm database. Okay. We'll talk about that later on. And your database is your warm market. These are connections, business cards, people you've met out networking, people you've been at different conferences with. Something that you want to do once a week is send an email out to your database. Once a month, since we're in the Nook space, we're going to show you how to send it out to your asset managers. We've talked about that in our workshop, doing that once a month. Connect with investors, bank contacts on LinkedIn. That's something that can be automated for a little bit, but also something you need to follow up with, and you can do that at any time. You need to farm and connect with IRA investors. We'll show you how to do that pretty easy on next week. And then you've also got, as you're getting tapes, and you need to build in some time to review, submit deals, and evaluate that stuff. Okay. Now, the first thing that you'll need to focus on is knowing what your goals are. What are your goals? What's your goal with real estate investing? If you want to type that in the chat roll on here live on the Zoom, or type that also on YouTube for those that are watching on YouTube, feel free to do that. What's your goal? What's your number one goal? Now, your goals all have a why behind it, right? Family, retirement. I want to retire more. We just had a podcast episode that comes out tomorrow about don't giving up on your retirement and how to leverage real estate. Maybe you want to retire your spouse, your parents, want to pay for your kids' education, that kind of stuff. Maybe you hate your job. Maybe you don't like your career. You want to leave that. Maybe you just want to increase your income so you live a little bit better. You live higher on the hog versus just barely getting by. Maybe you want to do some things differently. Lifestyle. Maybe you want to have a charity that's big to you. Okay. The idea here is when you have a goal that you want to accomplish, you want to make sure it's a SMART goal. Now, SMART goal doesn't mean, I went to college to come up with this goal. SMART goal is kind of outlined very simply in a way to make sure that you are able to accomplish those things. Now, what does a SMART goal mean? And this is what it means. S in SMART stands for specific. M stands for measurable. A for attainable. R for realistic. And T for time bound. Now, with the S, when you're setting your goals, you want to set real numbers with real deadlines. Okay. I don't say I want more visitors or I want more money. That's too generic. Okay. That leads us to M, measurable. Okay. Make sure your goal is trackable, measure. Don't hide behind buzzwords like brand, engagement, or social influence. No. You want something that's actual measurable. Like I want to close on 10 notes this year. Instead of just closing, I want to close on on a note. Okay. Attainable. Work towards a goal that is challenging but possible. Like if you've say I want to make, one of the number one goals we get people to say I want to make 100 grand in a year. Well, great. Have you made 50 grand a year yet? No. Okay, let's make sure you make 50 grand first before you set this big goal. Like I want to make $1 million. Okay, well, have you made 100 grand? You get what I'm saying? Don't try to take over the world in one night. I always love that. R is realistic. Be honest with yourself. You know what you and your team are capable of. And when you're looking at that person in the mirror at night, you want to make sure and be able to look that person in the eye. Forget any hurdles you may have to overcome. Okay. You're going to have some hurdles, and that's okay. Make them real realistic. Time bound. Give yourself a deadline to take action. Like I want to close on my first note in the next 30 days. Keep pushing towards a goal. All right. Don't say someday. Give yourself the onset. I need to do this in the next 90 days or by 6 months or by December. All right. I want to do that. We all start off the year like I want to lose weight. Okay. How are you going to do that? I'm going to work out 3 times a week, eat less, walk more, these little things that are specific to what you want to do. And that's why you want to have a SMART goal. Okay. Now we want to write them down. Write down your goals. It's important for you to do this. I want to replace my 100-year income by December. I want to make, there's a whole variety of things. I want to save for retirement of 10K per month. Whatever your goals are, put it down. And be specific. I want to pay for my kids' education. Well, are they going to be going to Austin Community College or going to University of Texas? Okay. I want to buy my first house for $250,000. Okay. Is that a good house where you're at? Look at these things and be specific about what you're doing. Okay. I want to move to a new city by May. I want to lose 20 pounds by June or whatever. I want to live. I want to live and take 3 vacations each year with my family. Okay. Or I want to close my first deal by March. They're your goals. They're not mine, but write them down. If you write down your goals, you'll instantly already have a 50% greater chance of it happening. It's scientifically proven. Not me, ladies and gentlemen. Science. Okay. Harvard study years ago tracked that. 2 groups of people that graduated, half wrote their goals down, half didn't. The half that wrote them down were twice as successful as those that didn't. Don't listen to me, listen to Harvard. Number 2, what are the numbers? And this is important. Do you know the numbers behind your goals? Okay. Your monthly numbers. If you want to achieve something, what's that going to cost? What's it going to take to get there? So you need to know your numbers or your number of goals. And then reverse engineer them. What are the weekly actions? Like if I want to lose 20 pounds, that means I need to lose how much? I need to lose 5 pounds roughly a week, right? So that's roughly a pound basically every other day. That's basically 1,750 calories less per day. Okay. How am I going to do that? I'm going to go for a long walk or I'm going to ride the bike, elliptical. I'm going to go work out. Okay. And let's talk through a few. So how much do I need? Well, here's a great example, kind of what we like to put people through. I need this amount per month to replace my income. I need this amount extra per month to create my ideal life. And this might take you sitting down and talking with your wife and spouse. If it's just you, okay, you can figure this out. But figure out what that number is to get my ideal life. What dreams, what do you want to accomplish? Like if you want to take a trip, like a cruise, people like to cruise. I want to take 2 cruises per year. Well, cruise is going to cost you at a minimum, probably $5,000 for you and a spouse. That's if you're on Carnival. Now, if you want to do it like Disney or Princess Cruises, that may be $5,000 per person. Okay. So what's that cost? Well, it means that's 10. I need to make $5,000 per month, and I need to put $1,000 away each month so we can take a cruise every 6 months. Okay, great. So then take A and B is going to equal to C for your monthly thing, and then take C times 12 to figure out your annual. All right. So then your ultimate goal is I need blank amount per month to accomplish my goals. Okay. Now, I like to then take it and divide it by a cash flowing goal. So if I need a specific number per year, let me divide it by $500 to figure out how much any deals I need to do. Okay. So let's write this down. So let's say I need $5,000 per month to replace my income. I'm making 60 grand a year. I need to replace that. I need an extra $5,000 per month to really create my ideal life. That'll help us afford a better house and travel, have some more fun. Okay. So I need to double my income basically. So I need to make 10 grand per month. That's 120 grand per year. I'm going to take 120. That's my big goal. I want to make 10 grand per month. 10 grand per month. I'm going to work to get to it. I'm halfway there. I just need to add a little bit. So if I take C, which is 120, I'm sorry, it's 10 grand, sorry, divide that by E, it'll equal the number of deals you need to do. So that number, 10,000 divided by $500 per month cash flowing deal means I need to close on 20 notes plus, plus or minus. Some will be higher or less, but roughly 20 deals at $500 per month will bring in 10 grand per month, which will help me get to that 120 grand a year. That makes sense? Yes, no, all good? Good stuff. Now, the idea here next is to figure out what kind of offers you need to make and reverse that number. So if I need to close on 20 deals, we all know if I make 20 offers, not all 20 are going to be accepted, right? So most new investors have a 10% closing ratio on submitted offers. So what do? Well, you take your number. If you submit 10 offers, you'll probably get 5 accepted out of it, depending on what you're bidding. And then out of that, you'll probably get 1 closed. Okay. 5 are just going to be, it all depends on what you bid and what's going on, but that's the law of averages. Okay. So if you take your multiply by E by 10, that equals F, the number of offers you need to submit. So remember, our E was 20 deals closed times 10. It means we need to offer 200 different offers submitted. We need to submit 200 offers. Okay. Now, if that's by 1 year to get to that number, then you divide that number by 12. 200 offers divided by 12 comes out to roughly 16.7 offers per month. That's basically 4 offers per week. That makes sense? Basically, one a day. And that's feasible. You're going to getting lists of notes in, tapes you make offers on. In the last week, we had one that was basically 60 assets, and then it was 300. We got a bunch of individual stuff. It's very feasible to get that number in. Okay. And yes, you're going to have some higher hit rates. The more you do this, the better off you get offers accepted. I just had a great call with a couple ladies who were like, I made an offer. They came back higher than I expected it. I'm like, well, that's because they're smoking crack. You weren't incorrect. Move on to the next one. And she's like, okay, great, awesome. She was just making sure I'm not being stupid. Like, no, you're good. The seller wants too much for those. It doesn't make any sense to buy those. Okay. And so let's do this. If you think about this and put it towards your goal and write this as a goal, I need to make 4 offers per week to accomplish my goals. If I do that, I will basically close on 20 performing notes by next year, by the end of 2024. Out of that, I should be making at least $120,000 a year in profits in the next 12 months. Okay. Our cash flowing, set that up. Here's a challenge I have for you. Share your goals, write them down. Okay. Do a little selfie video. Hey, here, guys, I've got a goal I'm trying to accomplish. I'd love to share this with you, tell you about what I'm focused on. Not enough people are sharing their goals. You have to share your goals to help people, your warm market, help you out with that. Okay. Share goals, and then ultimately the states that you're looking for deals in, which we'll get to in a minute. And one of the great things you can do is share your background and what you've done in real estate before. Hey, guys, maybe you don't know this, but I've been an active real estate investor for 10 years, but you may have known me just as a dentist for 20, or I'm your local, landscaper here. I have a landscaping company, but I also invest in real estate on the side. Okay. Whatever it might be, share what you're doing. My big goal for the next 12 months is I'm looking to increase my investments in real estate, and I'm looking to close on 20 deals in the next year. I know it's pretty difficult, but I know I can make it happen with your support. Something like that, okay? We're talking, the video is not long, 2 to 5 minutes. It's just a way to share it and get the word out on what you're doing. Most of you have never shared what you want to accomplish with your goal. And when I say that, it's always funny. I see people dropping off on the video. Like, oh God, I have to share what I want to do? No, never mind, okay? Now, when it comes down to picking your states, let's move on a little bit here. This will help you in determining where you're buying deals at and what offers you're making. And some states have better results than others, okay? Now, I like to pick 3 to 5 states to be buying in, okay? And the states I don't want to buy in are New York, New Jersey, Kentucky. I like Texas, and if I can buy here, great, but I don't count it in there. If I do, it's always gravy or the cherry on top. California, if you have a home state to like Ohio, Michigan, or these, great, you'll be fine. Indiana, the Carolinas, those are all great states, okay? Now look in those states for the cities that are the largest, where they have at least 50,000 preferably, or $100,000, or not $100,000, but 100,000 population or greater. And then go over to Meetup, over to others in that area and try to find networking groups. That's the first. Go to meetup.com and look for networking groups in that city. Okay, that's a great way to start connecting with other investors and build your network. It's an important thing to do. All right. Hang on a second here. Going here. Let's move on. You go to meetup.com to do this. You can go to reiclub.com. You can go to nationalreaclub.com. You can also go to bni.com. Another place to take a look at. There's all places of networking to make it happen. Now, LinkedIn is one of the greatest sources for us to do stuff, okay? And we want to make sure your LinkedIn profile is complete. It's one of the most important things that you can do. All right. And by your LinkedIn be complete, you want to make sure you have a good profile photo, something smiling, and a background banner. Maybe it's something about real estate. Maybe it's your logo. Maybe it's your name of your company, whatever it might be. Make that, okay? You also want to go into LinkedIn and make sure in the settings that it's turned to creator mode, okay? Because if you don't have it on creator mode, your photo, your smiling face isn't going to show to third-party people that aren't connected. They only show the people connected. And you want your smiling face to show, okay? Also, make sure you want to put your website link in there. And yes, you need to have a website. It can be very simple, but put something on there. It's a website. You want to make sure and there's an about you part and put a summary in there. Put in a little executive summary. Talk something about what you've done. Don't put anything. That's what most people do. Put a little bit about you, and then start reaching out with LinkedIn and start connecting with people that are real estate investors in your area, or the state you're buying it, or note investors potentially. Okay. Start connecting with other people. That's one of the most important things you can do is start building your network because these people are going to either be buyers, sellers, or funding sources for you. Now, I like to use Octopus CRM as a service that I like to do to make connections, to help me automate my connections on a day in, day out basis. It doesn't take that much to do, but 20 to 50 people per day, you can do this pretty easily with Octopus CRM. It's not that difficult at all. All right. It's a part of the follow-up. It's a part of the day in, day out marketing. Especially if you're working and you have too busy a schedule, you got family, young kids, other responsibilities that you don't get out and network a lot, you definitely want to leverage LinkedIn and definitely spend the 21 bucks a month to use Octopus CRM to get rock and roll for you. It's one of the most critical tools. It will help you grow your audience. We've used Octopus CRM to grow our network on LinkedIn from 6,000 connections to over 30,000. And I will attribute it to two things. One, Octopus CRM, which is great. That's the first thing. Got to have the service. The second service is me actually logging into there every morning and spending 5 minutes to go out and connect with people. And it's a great way to do it. It's good tutorials, stuff like that. If you're joining us here on Zoom, I forgot to enable the chat role, but you can actually type in questions and comments and stuff like that now on the chat role. So we see a few folks on there. Hey, what's going on, Michelle? Good to see you. Anybody else out there too? Peter was in and out, and a few others been in and out today too. So anyway, but this is probably the most critical key to helping you grow an online network is LinkedIn and Octopus, especially in the business. I know people are like, well, what about Facebook? I'm like, Facebook is a dumpster fire. Okay. Facebook groups, it can be good or bad. You got plenty of trolls. You've got good people and you got ugly people out there. That's all I can say. Try to just surround yourself with good people. LinkedIn is one of the easiest ways to say where it stays professional. Okay. And start actually LinkedIn allows you for you to follow hashtags. So you can actually go in and follow to like real estate investing hashtag or note investing. So anybody comments on that kind of stuff on LinkedIn, it pops up in my news feed and I can follow that person. And those are important. Now, start growing your audience is one of the most critical keys in raising capital. And like I talked about, you want your network, whether it's small, whether you got 5 people or 5,000, start looking towards you as the expert. And you can post one real estate article each day. Now, if you've got experience, don't share an article, share a past deal. Do a case study. Help pull the camera out of your phone and talk about a deal. Hey, I got a property I just bought. Or do a quick little video here on Zoom for free. Hey, here's the first rehab we did 10 years ago. Or here's another property we bought with owner financing. And we put somebody, whatever it might be, article, I should put a parentheses around article. That's great. But your experience can add value, much bigger value. I know I'm not the first time you've probably heard me talk about this. Only fall back to news articles if you don't have experience. You've got experience, share your experience first, share what you're working on. That's always the much more valuable. That's the secret sauce. Okay. Yes, we'll share articles from DS News and HousingWire.com, the Mortgage Bankers Association. We shared an article yesterday from USA Today. I did a podcast episode about it. Okay. That was important. Look, we share real estate articles of any sort, but we don't just share the post. What I'm saying is I just don't put the URL of the article and share it there. I go on and say something about it. Show that you've got some marbles rolling between those two ears up there, okay? But most importantly, just talk about the deals. Why is this important to somebody? Like, why is the NAR? We did an article about the NAR lawsuit, or we did an article about people giving up on retirement. And when you share the article, we actually talked more about what we thought about it, okay? Another thing too, LinkedIn, comment on other posts per day. That helps your algorithm. You can do this pretty easily, ladies and gentlemen, while you're sitting on your phone, on the toilet in the morning or the afternoon or the evening while you're waiting for a car. Get in there and just start commenting. Look at what other people say. People you follow, other note investors, other real estate investors, people that share really great articles, comment. You'll never know who you're connecting with, but those that are commenting or those that are posting are the people you want to connect with, and you can kind of draft off their connections. Now, what else do you need? As a real estate investor, as a note investor, you got to act professional. You need to have an LLC. Some people, well, I can use a trust. Yeah, whatever. Use some sort of entity and keep it simple. Somebody wanted to argue with me 2 days ago, oh, do I need a C Corp? I'm going to get a C Corp. But you don't need a C Corp. Just go get you a simple LLC and make sure it's separate from your other activities. So if you've got a business, like if you're a makeup artist or you do something on the landscaping side, go get you a separate LLC. I know it's different every state. as little as like 30 bucks, like in Mississippi, or like 300 bucks here in Texas. And if you're in California, I'm sorry, you're going to pay 800 bucks a year for that. But guess what? That's your good weather tax. Okay. You have to treat being a real estate investor as a business. Okay. Yes, it's a hobby, but you also got to be professional. Otherwise, you can get in trouble. And you need to start an IRA, a self-directed IRA kit. I don't care who you use, whether it's Equity Bust or Quest, whatever, Mid-Atlantic, just start a self-directed IRA with a self-directed IRA company, custodian, or trustee. Put 500 bucks in there, put 100 bucks in there to start it off. But let's start putting that away because it'll come in handy for you later on. Yes, you need a website. You can go to Fiverr.com or Upwork.com to find somebody to help you put together a basic website. You don't need anything fancy, but you also need something that looks professional. Okay, you could use a one-page landing page, like Lead Pages. You could use like a Wix account, although I don't like Wix that much, but something to do it. And while you have that, refer people to your LinkedIn profile, but make sure your LinkedIn profile is complete. It doesn't do any good if you're wearing a 1980s gold boa around your neck from Glamour Shots when you're in high school. Okay. All right. Make it professional. Guys, we don't need that really cool shade standing from the Lambo. You don't want to look like a douchepreneur. Ladies, we don't need the proverbial, see my cleavage shot, or see me in a bikini. I'm like, don't be wrong. Some of you look good. Others, you're like, okay. Be professional and smile. Okay. Yes, honey will attract flies better than vinegar, but we want to make sure and attract the right type of flies, right? And it's the good kind of honey, not the bad kind. Okay. Just come on, be proud. Put something on that your mom would be proud about. Let's see you smiling. If you put up a photo, I had a student of mine put up a photo where he looked like he was pissed off. I'm like, why do you look pissed off? And another one, like, you look like a thug. Why would you want to put that up there? You want people to start trusting. So smile. Take a damn selfie and take a smile and upload it. Okay. And you need a Calendly link. Calendly is pretty cheap. That's a booking schedule. You're going to be booking calls with investors and asset managers, and it's a professional thing, especially if you have a very busy schedule. All right. If you need to talk with investors and stuff like that, have them book you outside their time or whatever. It just comes in handy. Calendly.com is what we use, something to book some things. And another thing for posting, Buffer.com is the easiest. It's the cheapest. If you have, like, what we use Buffer for, like, we use LinkedIn a lot, obviously, Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. Buffer will charge you $8 per social media thing. So if you just use two, like LinkedIn and Twitter, or LinkedIn and Facebook, or LinkedIn and Instagram, it's free. And you might as well be using it to share what you're doing. Okay. Buffer.com. Easy to use. Uploading articles, uploading social media posts. This allows for you to pre-schedule it. So if you don't have time during the day, guess what? You do this at night and schedule it for the next day, or go on Saturday and schedule it all the week. It's got to start sharing some stuff. Share your deals. Share what you're focused on. Okay. Let's see here. Canva.com. Canva.com is awesome. And you'll use Canva quite a bit in creating images, using it to, create flyers or deal summaries or images on your website, or case studies when it comes to raising capital, or create an executive summary about what you're doing. Okay. If you've been a part of the workshop, in our manual, you'll see a lot of things created, and I keep it pretty simple, but Canva is where we create most stuff. And I think it's like $15 a month. It makes you look professional, helps you really easy to upload things, drop and drag. It helps with design stuff. It will make you look a whole lot better than somebody who's drawn a squiggly figure. Okay. But those are some of the things that you need to have. An LLC. You got to get you a self-directed IRA some sort. And of course, if you're out of country, it's a different story. But a website, a Calendly link, Buffer.com to help you with posting, and Canva.com to help you do this. Now, some of you will delegate this, some of the stuff you want to do. Totally fine. But these are some of the basic things that help you get rock and roll. Okay. And you need to start using some sort of CRM. I like Keep.com as our email and CRM, and it allows me to use landing pages and email. I know some of you are waiting on a link to send you. I don't get what my rep has been out of pocket the last week plus. Usually pretty about responding, and I will get that link out to you ASAP, hopefully by tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll send you the old link and hopefully it's updated. But you're going to have to start sending emails out to your database and marketing. That's one of the things, sending it to asset managers at banks, and send to your warm market for potential investing. This is not meant to be difficult. Email is still the #1 tool for marketing. You get a 4,400% ROI on an email blast if you do it on a regular basis, okay? And you need to start developing your assets. Assets by this doesn't mean like a fix and flip, but maybe a picture of your fix and flip, or a picture of your deal, or your executive summary, or your pitch deck, okay? And that's what I mean by your assets. If you've gone through our workshop, we really do focus on this. So you want to look in the manual and see some of the things that are out there. Of course, come up with a logo, branding colors. Green's always a good branding color. People think of money. Blue is trustworthy. You know, those kind of things. There's a lot of great things that you can do, and Canva can help you create. If you need some help creating a logo, you can go to like 99designs.com and pay for somebody, or go over to Fiverr and help somebody design it for you. Pretty simple to do. Obviously, you need business cards. I'm sorry if you're going to be out networking. Yes, business cards still come in handy. You want to put your smiling face on it. So yes, my business card has my smiling face on it. Okay, you can't really see because of my green screen here, but it's got my information all designed. Back of it has a QR code that goes to my podcast or something else. Goes to my website, all designed in Canva, uploaded to Vistaprint and printed. Okay, you're gonna be creating flyers, postcards for IRA investors or funding sources. These are not meant to be difficult. There are examples of all this stuff in our manual for you. Okay, start with something. Okay, most importantly, your reason you write an executive summary first is so that it helps you with your executive, about you. It's something you'll give to investors. You may have asset managers reaching out to you. Tell me about yourself, your business. Well, what do? You send them an executive summary. Okay. Short videos. I know people are scared of the camera. My hair's got to be perfect. My makeup's got to be beautiful. Okay. I can't have a bad hair. I have all these million bullshit excuses of why I'm not going to film a short video. Guess what? Take your freaking face out of it then, and just start talking about a deal. Talk about your journey as a real estate investor, why you're doing what you're doing, what you've done before, what classes you taken, things you're currently working on. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Share your journey, and then guess what? Upload it to YouTube. Start sharing it to places and out to your email. Okay? You're going to be creating email templates, and by templates inside of your CRM that have links to your social, links to your LinkedIn, links to your other stuff. The reason we're putting this up is you're first starting off with things. It takes a little while to get your ducks in a row. Okay. Yes, if you've got a pile of business cards sitting at home in a shoebox, like 90% of people, you got to take those business cards and put them somewhere to email out to. Put them in a list, Excel spreadsheet, upload them. Okay. It's an important thing in just putting your warm contacts together so you can start marketing to them. I know it's tedious. It's a pain in the ass. If you've never done it before, I know if you come from a job that's not marketing, it's like, oh, I don't want to do this. Well, guess what? You have to do it. Okay? It's grown up. If you don't want to do it, hire your kid to go scam them. When I go to events, this is still something that I do. All right? Every time I get a stack of business cards from a networking event, conference I go to, like I'll give you an example. I went to this capital school thing about raising capital in Houston a couple months ago. Okay? I drove to Houston. I took my stack of business cards. I was one of 6 people in the room of 50 people that had business cards. So you know what happened? People looked at my business card. Okay. But you know what I did? I collected those other 6 cards, and those are the people I wanted to talk with. The others, I made everybody fill it out in a short form. We sent around a piece of paper. They filled out their name, their email, their phone number, yada, yada. And we put that in a database. And you know what I did? I sent an email out to them. Hey, it was nice meeting you at the Capital School. It's nice meeting you in Houston. But now I have 50 people in my database. And you know what? Guess how many other emails I got from the other 50 there? 1. That means 48 people showed up and didn't invest in making connections afterwards. So guess what? Me and the guy from San Antonio, Paul, we're rock and rolling, but we're 2 of the bigger guys doing things. Not to be difficult, but guess what? I got more phone calls from people wanting to talk about what I'm doing, people wanting to maybe invest with me. So it adds that level of professional. If you just do it a little bit, you will a little bit above what everybody else does. You will raise more money. You'll close more deals. You do a whole lot more. But you got to start taking these actions of any type of business. Okay. Putting your assets together, it does take the longest, but you will reuse these things over and over and over. You'll use your business cards, your email template, your pitch deck, your executive summary. You're going to use them over and over. And you're in this for the long haul. So you might as well do it now to get them rocking on. Doesn't mean stop what you're doing just to focus on one thing, but do these a little bit each day because they do yield big results in a way. Okay. A little bit extra each day, 5% extra each day leads to 72 minutes extra per day. If you think about it, 5% of 24 hours is 72 minutes per day. Okay. That's an hour and 12 minutes. You do that 4 days a week, you just put 5 hours into your schedule. That's better than most people. Most people don't spend that much time on anything. They might spend it on their vacation, but they don't spend it on their side hustle. Put 5 hours a week in and focus on it. Trust me, it will pay off gangbusters in helping you find deals, okay? Do 5 times per week. We talk Monday through Thursday and 1 to 2 hours on Saturday and Sunday or whatever it can be. 5 hours is a great thing to put to it. You owe it your side hustle, okay? So the great thing here is, guys, feel free, reach out to us, me, Scott at WeCloseNotes.com, talk with ScottCarson.com. I'm here to help you implement these things and take it to the next level. If you're part of our monthly membership, $97 a month, you can go to noteumbrella.com, get signed up for that. That gets you access to the replays of our workshops, attendance to the replays, stuff like that, other training, access stuff we're recording the passes, all that's included in there. It's not our one-on-one coaching. Our one-on-one coaching is different, but it's a great way to kind of get the ball rolling, okay? So one of the great things that you can do, let me go back over here. I'm going to stop sharing this and kind of give you an idea. I know I covered a lot of stuff, and some of you guys joined late. We'll get the replay out tomorrow. We go over here. Let's see, where do I want to go to? That's my podcast, but I have LinkedIn open. Go to your LinkedIn profile. This is my LinkedIn profile, okay? Oh, look at this. I love it. Look at Jessica. Jessica's one of our coaching students. Okay. Make sure you guys can see this. Yeah. So like Jessica, she's created this image here. Let's connect for more details. Phone number, talk with Jess, just something simple, but what she's buying, first position notes, I buy notes. That's great stuff. Jessica does a great job. She's out of St. Louis. So good that she does this. See, she just shares that, and she shares this probably if we go to her profile. See, she's got a background image. She's got a nice smiling image there for her. She got some videos she's been posting. Let's go to her posts. Let's connect for more details. She should change this up a little bit, but she's been using these images over and over again. She created that in Canva. All right. We're buying notes. Looking to sell your notes. Got NPLs on the books. Okay. Pretty simple to do, to go out there and something that's good picture of herself there. Okay. Asking the stuff, got distressed notes. She's done a great job with this. Good job, Jessica. One-on-one coaching student, kicking ass and taking names. Okay. But when you go to your profile, let me just go to the profile here. Mine's a little bit different than you guys, but see, posting your education, posting what you've done. You can actually have featured things. So if you've got different deals that you've done or projects you're working on, feature them. Okay. I feature the newsletter, my 2 different podcasts. Okay. But then I go and post things on a regular basis. How do I hit my retirement goal? It's an article, video. It's a podcast episode on an article I did. You want to fill out your about section. You can literally go to ChatGPT and fill out your about section, talk about you. Okay. Maybe put a couple of things there, but you see, this is basically my executive summary, copy pasted, posting into this. I probably need to go tweak a couple of things. Okay. But you see, I've got We Close Notes, 14 years. There's a podcast episode. Now, the big question I get from people is, Scott, I already have a job. Do I need a new LinkedIn profile? No, you don't. Leave whatever your main job is, but then post below that you're a real estate investor in a second job and how long you've been a real estate investor for. Okay. Your boss is going to get mad at what you're doing, then go block your boss. For some of you, you may need to sign an OBA, an outside business agreement. And that's fine. Tell them, real estate investing is your hobby. Okay. And just share that you're doing. Posting interesting articles about real estate, my interests. Okay. Everybody's got an interest about different stuff. Okay. But literally, you can go on here and find like real estate investors. Put that in there. Okay. And if you click on people, all right. So like maybe you're in Texas. Let's just put real estate investor and change it. So like Michelle's down in, I don't know, you're in New Braunfels or Buda, Texas or something like that. So let's go to people, second degree connections. That means you're not connected to them first degree. And let's look at locations. Let's type in Buda, Texas. Let's see who else is a real estate investor in Buda. Now, Buda is basically between Austin and San Antonio. And guess what? There's 14 results. It makes sense for her to connect with these people and just reach out to them. Say, hey, Gary, hey, Tim, what do you do? Josiah Wilson. I'm going to hit connect and just say, add a note. Hey, Josiah, I'm in Austin, Texas, and looking to connect with other local REI people in Central Texas. Love to talk. What are you investing in? Now, it can't be too long because you've only got 300 characters in this box. Boom. But it's something like that, something you can copy, paste. Start the connection process, okay? All right. Maybe you need to take it out. Maybe there's not enough people in there, so you change it to that. So you just change it to Texas. Go results. And about 3,800. There you go. Now, Octopus CRM is awesome. That's what I would use. I'm not going to go through that right now. I can't use it anymore because I'm capped out my connections at 30,000. Okay. But the process here, ladies and gentlemen, is look at your numbers, like we talked about. Know what your goals are. And make sure your goals are SMART goals: specific, measurable, actionable, relatable, realistic, and then time asset to it. Know what you're working towards and start putting the things in place, because that's going to help you find deals. But if you don't do any of that stuff, guess what? You're like in the Wild West. You're like a squirrel, a blind squirrel finding a nut every once in a while. If you start putting these things out that you're a note investor, a real estate investor on your LinkedIn, guess what? You're going to start having people reach out to you. Start connecting. Or you start connecting with other note investors, real estate investors. Do the same search and start connecting with people. That's one of the biggest things you do in finding stuff and networking digitally versus just locally. Okay. Now, if you start going to your local real estate club, it may be a very small group of people interested in notes paper. That's okay. You can become that authority level in there in the area people turn to when they ask questions about note investors. So go out and take advantage of that. Any questions, comments, concerns? You joined late. Hey, guys, I get it. We'll get the replay out to you tomorrow if you're registered. And any other questions, comments, concerns for you guys that are joining us here tonight? The idea here is to get the ball rolling. Don't take what you learned at our workshops and not implement it. This is a general reminder, kick in the butt to get rocking and rolling. Don't make it overcomplicated. Keep it simple, stupid. Or as I say, keep it simple, Scott. A little bit each day. And I get it. It's easy to get overwhelmed, but a little bit each day goes a long way, ladies and gentlemen. If you're struggling on raising capital and finding deals, I know it comes down to one thing. You're not marketing. You keep waiting for the asset managers to have ESP. Oh, I know that Hakeem needs some deals. I know that Michelle needs some deals. I'm going to email them directly. We know that doesn't happen. Okay. And yes, it's great to have us upload or send you deals. That's great. The point here, ladies and gentlemen, I teach so you're not tethered to me to get deals in. That's the way I teach. I show you how to go find deals. I show you how to get things done. Take what I learned. Don't be solely responsible from one source for a deal. I was talking to an investor yesterday. I got these. I only get notes from these two people. I'm like, well, those are the only two that publish to you. Are you not going out looking for more deals? No, I'm not. Well, that's the problem. That's why those deals are expensive and they're crappy, because they're overpriced and it's the bottom of the barrel. Have you gone and done this? Have you gone and done that? No. Well, go do that. Okay. A week later, did you go do that? Oh, no, I didn't. I'm like, I can't help you if you won't help yourselves. Okay. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, general kick, take some things. Okay. Yeah, awesome, John. Great that you enjoyed. We'll get that link to you. Anna, glad that you loved it. We're here just to help you out there. Kick in the butt. Yeah, a little gentle nudge in the butt. Okay, a little kick in the pants for me. I just want you guys to be successful because I know that you're capable of it. Everybody is capable of it. From the 18-year-old kid we helped close on a bunch of deals to the 65-year-old retiree who's closing on deals left and right. anywhere in between. Don't care where you've been, what bullshit excuse you tell yourselves. Guess what? You can do this part-time. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. And go out and take some action, everybody. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Feel free. And here's the guys. If you have questions, Michelle can vouch. Anna can vouch. John can vouch. Hakeem can vouch. Reach out to me. talkwithscottcarson.com. Book a call on my schedule. I'm glad to help answer any questions for you, put you in the right direction, and help you take it to the next level. Okay? Heck, if you might be like Michelle, here's your marketing schedule for you. Go post this, then repost this. Post this and repost this. All right. You guys, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You all are, everybody in here, everybody that's watching this, whether you're watching the replay a year from now or you're watching the replay 24 hours now, everybody in this sound is 90 days away from raising $1 million in capital. 90 days away from raising $1 million in capital. I don't care what color your skin you are, male, female, whatever you call yourself. Don't care what your weight is. Don't care what your experience with. Everybody is 90 days away from raising $1 million in private capital. You're also 90 days or less away from buying your first note. Okay. Michelle, how many notes have you closed on now? Not enough. Okay. But you closed on what, 20? Well, I mean, just not non-performing. You also created some notes for properties you've gotten and stuff like that. You've done over 100. Okay. Come on. Okay. One of our coaching students, 100 total. Okay, that's good. 100 total. You know what that means, Michelle? That means you and Rick are probably in the top 1% of all note investors. You're the 1%er. And what's always funny is you don't give yourself enough credit. I could be doing more. Yes, you'd be doing more. But you know what? You should do a post. We just realized today that we have bought over 100 notes. You know, you take those addresses of those 100 notes you bought and you map them on Batch Geo. Boom, shakalaka. That is a credibility piece for investors and for other people. Here's 100 deals we closed. Here's the map of the stuff we closed on. Go make it happen, girl. Love you. Love you guys all. Have a great evening. If this was valuable, share it with colleagues. Somebody asked me the other day, when's our next 3-day workshop? Probably not till June. So they get signed up for it at notebuyingfordummies.com. We'll get the replays 2 weeks ago. And then these will be added on to the videos as well, so you can watch those going on. All right. Michelle and Rick will kick butt and take things. They like to live. Don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong with living. They're very great. They got a great family. Family comes first for them. That's awesome. And stuff like that. Yeah. John, she's great. Awesome. If you need to talk to somebody, she's also good. And I think I also put you in touch with Antron and or Fulton and who else did I have you put to talk to? Keith or John Gore, stuff like that. Just give them a shot. They're here to help out. And I look forward to talking to you next week, John, as well. Anybody else have a great evening? That's all I've got for tonight. Great talking to you, Anna, a couple days ago. Hakeem, hope you were doing well, buddy. Hope that hip is doing well, bud. And you're back rocking and rolling. All right, everybody. Take care. We'll see you at the top, everybody. Bye.